we are maybe live. Oh, there we go. I just heard somebody's notification. I guess we are live.
Be mine.
Are we live?
Yeah, we live.
Hey,
Ah!
No, right off the bat,
Okay.
Sport Leafy, get your shit
he
together,
said,
man.
"Get your shit together, man."
Working on it, brother. Working on it. Got Ronnie Rasmussen out there. We got Graham out there. Steve-O's in the chat. We got Frictions out there.
Friction.
Let's see who else we got. Michael Morris. Fee is in the chat. Let's see. Anybody else? Jeff Lawson. Probably got some
man, I
people
didn't
coming in
notice.
that were probably in early. Like, where the fuck's he at?
Graham's out there.
Yeah, Graham's out there. His internet will last for another 10 minutes before they probably pull the plug on it.
The real Stevie J.
Oh, Stevie J out there? Okay, let's see. Oh, Beauty and the Vape.
Christine.
Goose Girl.
Yeah, everybody's
Lots of
piling
people.
In. Everybody's piling in. Jeffrey the Clown
look, it's-
Puncher. That's a new one.
Yeah, boy.
Hi, Jeffrey.
Stalker added me on Facebook.
That's my guy right there.
See?
Ben, how you doing? Wow,
Well-
I feel like it's been forever since I've seen a lot of these people.
What, about an hour?
That's about it. Yeah, about an hour. Yeah.
Well, if you click in the description, the very first one, I stole it right off of Fresh's link. That is the link to our good buddy Rye. Salute, brother. I know you're doing well looking at us up there. That's why I said positive vibes tonight, because he was nothing but a positive dude. I'm sure, Adam, you could agree there.
I have
Oh,
coffee.
dude. One of the best, man.
Hell yeah.
One of the best humans I've ever had the pleasure of knowing in my entire life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's
I
what
got to
said.
spend a lot of time with the dude in the last couple months, and I'm fucking so thankful for that.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he's amazing, man.
Yeah, so
There's
anybody
a link.
wants to donate to help out with the the funeral costs, we know that stuff's expensive, and whatever expenses his family's going to need, with him not being there anymore. This I think what I saw 4,300s are up to already, which is amazing. I know Wednesday night on Heavy's channel they raised a whole bunch of money, which is great. I saw Phenom dropped a nice dime. He dropped $1,000, so that was awesome. Phenom's the man.
Phenom is his name is perfect because
Yeah.
that's what he is. He's
That's
just
right.
a Phenom.
You know, I just have to say, I was listening to Fresh Friday night, and everyone talking about him, and I didn't know him like you guys did, unfortunately. So, but just listening to all the words spoken, it just made me feel really, I'm trying to get the right words. Just really like, I need to be more aware of how I speak and talk to people, because I have all the best intentions to want to help and be there for everybody, and sometimes I think that we need to be more like him. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah.
We need to be more like him. There you go. That's-
He was extremely humble. Extremely
Yes.
humble.
Oh.
Every time I've ever talked to him in Zoom and in Zoom channels and stuff like that, it was calm. Like I've never talked to anybody that was that calm all the time.
Yeah, Steve-O's got to be like Rye. # be like Rye.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That is exactly what I'm trying to say. Is that we need to be more like Rye. There you go. That's it.
Yeah, he was straight up. I mean, he was genuine, and I mean, there was nothing fake about him. Totally down to earth, cool as shit, humble. Talented as all get up. Excellent coil builder. He was he worked at a restaurant, so he had some cooking talents. He was photography was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, he was a great guy. It's I guess God needed to brush up on Ohm's law, so he figured he might as well grab one of the best coil builders out there, so he'd learn. Oh wow,
Yeah.
we got a
He
hit with the
never
Ray
saw-
in the
he never
chat.
s- He never sold his coils. He always gave his
Oh,
coils
yeah.
away.
Exactly. I remember he went live on Facebook. There was either Miami or Orlando, one of the expos in Florida, and he was so nervous and excited when he got to meet like Zophie and I think Ruby Roo, and he was hanging out with Mike and Phenom and Brian and Felix, and he had these nice, beautiful wooden boxes,
Yes.
and he had coils in them for for certain
And
people
all,
that he
all the
felt deserved
boxes
it.
had their names engraved into them too.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
Yeah.
Miguel, what's up, brother? Haven't seen you since this afternoon on Fresh's channel.
I need to go find my scissors. I will be right back.
No problem.
I'm gonna
Was
throw a
Fresh
link.
on today?
Yeah, he was on.
Yes.
How did I miss that?
I don't know. I was so crazy with work that I kind of listened a little bit and then got sidetracked. And that's like last night. I caught like the first
Wait,
half hour.
Joey. I have not seen Joey in forever.
I
There you
know.
go. There's somebody. I love my Joey.
Oh boy.
ID Voca's.
What a-
Yeah, I was saying morning Voca. I know it's probably about 5 a.m., 4 a.m.
That's not the time to be watching YouTube, really, is it? Depends whether you're up from the night before or not, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't had those days in a long time.
Yeah. As you get older, mate, sleep's like a little vacation.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a Canadian advocacy group that's going on here in Canada. It's called VAEP.
Yes.
They are not just for Canada; they're for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It is run by a registered nurse
Yep.
with from Alberta, Canada. I'm going to put her link in chat. They have Facebook ads. They were able to buy some Facebook ad time.
Oh, awesome.
Wow, that's great.
So they're hoping they can keep it going, and they'd like people to share everything they have, and they have a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna put it in. To link.
Because Canada is starting to see some issues. That there was something, I think it was in one of the suburbs of Toronto and Durham. They were talking about some kind of flavor ban or public vaping ban or something like that.
Municipalities are watching what's going on in the States, and the thing that happened in London, Ontario is some girl, I guess she was going through 2 joules a day at extremely high nick.
Well,
She got really sick, ended up in a hospital, but she also had the same sicknesses of those ones that who are dying in the States. That's all that THC stuff, but she's saying she bought her liquid from the U.S.
She's full.
But she's not. They won't divulge what liquid she was vaping.
Yeah, because there's just like there's bootleg THC cartridges, there's bootleg jewel pods that people are putting God knows what into, and then kids are selling those, and people are selling them on the street.
Yeah, there's CBD ones that are. It says Jewel CBD right on it, and people are buying it, and it's making them sick.
Yeah, because Juul doesn't make CBD, so.
Yet.
Yeah. There was
Leafy did a really good article tracking back.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
Going all the way back to China.
I'll post that link in. That
was a
in
really good story.
Yeah.
Because that's what journalism should be doing.
Yeah.
Get that.
Unfortunately today the journalists or the bulk of them will feed off other stories on the internet and print it like it's true, and that's how it spreads, because one picks it up, the other reads their article and goes, oh, I better write an article the same as that because they seem to have done the work.
Copy and paste.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't give
change, run it through a thesaurus app, just so it changes a few words and everything's all good.
That's it.
Right.
So look, I mean, have a read of that Leafy article. It is a really, really good piece.
Definitely.
So even if you don't vape THC or weed or anything like that, it's worth knowing, simply so you can be educated, and when someone throws you one of those questions, you can go, bang, there you go, here's the information, and it's really well laid out. And I think that's one of the things is that all of us have to do is to get people who are non-vapors
I've been saying
into
that for 2 years.
Yep. And that means if that means posting on Facebook to your friends group who are not vapors, shit, just do it.
Oh yeah, I've
like
gone
if
round
it's
and
if
round
it's
with a few of them, and some of them I actually
Yep.
got to see our side of it.
Yeah,
and
yep,
others just
absolutely.
agree to disagree.
Yeah. Look, I mean, if you can convert one or two here and there, if everyone can do that, then out of your friends group, then that's a good thing. I mean, I've got people who don't vape now because I always used to keep my vape stuff separate from my personal Facebook page, because
Same here.
it's just one of those things. But over the last probably 2 months, I've started to throw out a bit of vape stuff on the page, and you'd be surprised who thumbs up and shares. Like there's people in my group who have seen that I quit smoking, I vape, they're happy for me, and they're prepared to spread that to other people who are their friends. So the one thing is that what we as vapors do is we sort of keep shit to ourselves and think, oh, my friends aren't going to be interested in this. When, realistically, everyone should be out for personal freedom. And when your personal freedom's getting attacked, you need to share that shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a little preoccupied right now.
It's
I'm
okay.
talking to the
Addie's throwing the links out there.
Yeah, you're a gem, Addie. Thank you.
I actually had one person, like, on my personal wall, kind of come back at me, the first person in over the past few weeks, and say, well, I reshared something from Phil Pisardo, where he was talking about, anyway, well, we should come up with another name besides
Prohibition. Yep.
Prohibition. Yeah, you read that article?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, she came back and said, well, it doesn't matter if you're dead. It doesn't matter if you die from poisoning or cancer. You're still dead, and it's sad. And I was like, she doesn't get it.
No, she doesn't.
I'm like, yes, it's very sad. And I explained, I said, the sad part is that the poisoning is coming from black market cartridges that is illegal. I mean, being made up, and that's what's making people sick. And cancer is coming from cigarettes, and neither one of those is being banned from the government. However, vaping that can save lives and help people from developing cancer or keep them from, smoking, that is being banned. I said, that's the problem.
Well, the whole thing with the black market cartridges, technically, I mean, obviously what they're putting in them, in that formula, you kind of is banned. That's why it's black market. Just like if they, they continue.
Well, they're only really being sold in states in high numbers where it's not legal.
Exactly.
So it's feeding that market that they're trying to stamp out.
Yep.
And I mean, look, I scratch my head reading stuff going, don't you see the problem with what you're doing? And yeah, they see it. They know. They
but
just
so
what?
Yeah, most people see it as, vaping, they're getting sick from lung infection, and smoking, cancer. Neither one's good, but that's not the case. And most people who don't vape or smoke don't see that. They don't see it.
Yeah.
I think it's more that they fail to equate vaping with reducing the risk.
Yeah.
And a lot of people see it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
the big one
they see it as
you're still smoking. You're still smoking. That's the big one here.
You swap one habit for another. You swap one habit for another.
Exactly.
And okay, yeah, but I'll swap one that won't kill me.
Eddie Tuning said it.
Yeah.
Right.
Asshole media lumping vaping into everything. Yeah. And you know what? we can thank fucking Bloomberg. See, I was going to try to not curse tonight. Right, sorry, brother. But you know,
well,
yeah.
I mean,
and between Bloomberg and now Bloomberg and I guess I'm not sure if it's his equity group or investment group that him and Gates and what's his name is part of.
Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Zuckerberg. They're buying into that. What's it called? The Hale. And
Harbour Health.
Yeah, Harbour Health. Yeah,
which
is two dudes in a storefront in South Philly that came up with this thing, and they actually that piece of real estate that they're renting, they're getting it rent free because they're getting it from an investor. Wow. So their overhead costs are like nothing, and they're going to get it made in China, so that overhead cost can be nothing, and it's going to be pharma, so it's going to be prescription only, or it's going to be over the counter like a Nicorette or a
Yeah, but it won't have to go under any PMTA simply because it's pharma. It's not a
exactly. Yeah. They know what they're doing. They're being really smart that way.
Yep. Yeah. But I mean, does it produce vapor, or is it just a nicotine inhaler like they had years ago that worked really poorly?
I think
that's what I'm not sure.
Steps down. It's supposed to be a step down process too.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, I did actually see a post today. I can't put my finger on it right now, but it was in regards to the IQOS.
Oh yeah.
That someone bought one with no age checks, paid with PayPal, because PayPal were always against tobacco products, paid with PayPal, and it's got a fucking flavour in it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and the thing is, here too, the heat sticks that you have to buy, which are tobacco, sales of that goes towards the MSA. Because it's tobacco.
Yeah, well, we haven't got an MSA here in Australia, but our government collect roughly $17 billion in tax from cigarettes.
Well, Tam, this is your job, though. Since you're outside of Atlanta, and the store that Philip Morris is putting in is in Atlanta, it's your job to go there and record it and let us know what the store looks like and all that good stuff. And
see if you can get a child to go in and buy one.
Ooh, yeah. See if they're carding. They should be carding at the door, just like a vape shop does. There's a lot of vape shops that'll card at the door.
They should.
Yeah.
Everybody who walks in there who doesn't have a beard, they should be carding them.
No, I went to.
I don't know, man. Over here, there's some kids 14 with beards like you. So.
I went to school with a kid that could literally walk down the street with a case of beer on his shoulder, and he was in 9th grade, and no one said a word.
Oh my god.
No, I was just kidding. Obviously, yeah. I think card hard AF.
Yeah.
And this is something This is something we talked about for a long time. Is we need to police ourselves, but in the long run, we were just talking out our ass because it wouldn't have did any good anyway.
I was looking at the stats in New York with their stings, their tobacco stings, and I think they did 29,000 stings over the course of the year, and there were 1,200 bad actors. 900 of those 1,200 had either fines or court or whatever they were doing with it. The issue is there's always going to be those people who think that it's okay, as long as they're onto it, and any legitimate vape shop will do that simply because they want to stay in business. You sort of sit there and go, these are mum and pup, they work in the shop.
Yeah.
They don't let them run themselves. They're protected. They're not leaving it entirely in employees' hands. And yet, you sort of sit there and go, well, you're doing your enforcement, how are these kids getting their jewels? And surely that should be your first. Your cat in the back's a classic, mate. It's popping up its head every couple of seconds. But surely that should be your first line. That should be, like if kids are getting jewels, do something with that, or vape gear, any vape gear.
Yeah, anything.
Surely your first line should be enforcement of the current rules. And if that fails, then come up with another plan. The Jack in the Box cat.
Yep. Took her downstairs, and I guess she didn't want to play with the
I
dog.
think she wants. Is it a girl?
Yeah, as far as we know.
Wants to mix.
It's because Adam's here.
Oh, is that what?
He always attracts the pussy.
Oh, that's it.
I thought this
that
was
was it.
She heard Adam's voice and went, "I'm there."
It happens.
That's it.
Only human, mate. Only human.
She's sitting here biting me. She's gnawing on me.
What do they say about doing shows with animals?
Yeah, right. Yeah, never good.
No.
Well, Ingvar had a mixing question. If you were to mix do a lemon meringue pie, would you use? Let me see if I can find it again.
She's asked about cat.
Yeah, Capella or Flavor West or VT tart. I would use the tart,
Yeah, I'd use the tart as well.
and then put and you can build off of it from there.
You could combo VT tart with lemon squares,
Yes, that's it.
which should be a pretty nice combo, I think. Not to say that V1 cap is bad, because
Say that.
Right.
that's
it's good.
it's a very good flavour. It's I mean, I haven't used the V2, so I can't pass judgment on that one. But when it comes down to it, you can always push any one of those flavours. I mean, I don't know the Flavour West, but I mean, using the VT tart together will give you something a little bit
God,
different.
I
It'd
wanna
be a little
say
sweet.
it's-
Yeah, I would use the tart kind of like 4%, because you can run that
I was
high.
seeing 3 to 4.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
I would say the lemon squares by Wonder Flavors.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, like
That
1.5,
with a little
2%.
bit of another lemon, like Effie lemon, a little bit of Effie lemon. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, for the crust, I would use the lemon squares.
Yeah, no, it has got a good crust note to it. So, but
Yeah, Addie's got
Yeah,
it right
there you
too.
go,
The Cap
Addie's all
lemon
over it.
lime and a touch of lemon express.
Lemon Express.
What kind of?
Oh, there you go.
Yo,
Yeah, I
what
like
up, Fidalgo?
Is he in the top?
well,
Yeah.
he did say he was running a bath in between the shows. So there's every chance Bubbles is Bubbles.
The tart's gonna give the crust.
Yeah.
And if you want, depending on your likes, you can use a little bit of Cereal 27 to give you a little bit of darkness into your crust as well.
Or even a little graham cracker.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could roll with Inawera biscuit with some FA cookie.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's like a ton of AP heavy flavors that you
it
can
depends.
throw in there
It all
to
depends
boost
on
it.
how prominent you want that crust to be.
Yeah.
One thing
yeah,
that Nick used in his lemon meringue tart, the best
The
yet,
best ever.
the
best
best yet was frick. What's the name of that? It's not meringue. It's the oh my gosh, meringue. What?
Merengue the dance.
No, it's that flavor that's like. We always talk about it. Is it from Canada?
Flapper pie?
Yes, flapper pie.
Flappy flappy.
Flappy,
Flappy,
flappy.
He uses lemon meringue tart and flappy flappy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Flappy.
Yeah.
that's what he calls it. He loves it. He's like flappy flappy. That's his thing. Yes.
And that's the only flavor we're not sorry for.
No, what?
They're not sorry for.
Oh,
He said sorry because he's Canadian.
Sorry. Yeah.
sorry. Oh, we're not sorry. Okay.
It's not sorry
Okay.
about it.
Or a big
Oh, we don't.
A.
Yeah, you could use either FA meringue or TFA meringue. They're both,
I prefer real flavors meringue.
Oh, you got to be special.
With your bougie flavor
Oh,
of
yeah,
it.
he's got to be special.
I have TPA and FA.
No, wait, he's special. And what was it today? I'm weird.
Yeah. There you go.
FA is a little bit more concentrated, so you can use less of it, but they're pretty damn close.
Yeah.
The meringues.
Yeah, it sounds pretty Canadian, like FA.
Meringue?
Well,
Meringue?
Flavor Art is in Niagara Falls, Canada, so we're
Oh
Niagara
yeah,
on the Lake.
yeah. He's a Canuck, isn't he? What's his name? Who runs
Richard?
Flavor Art?
Yeah, Richard
No,
or the other one.
The other dude.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah.
Sean Casey.
Yep, that's it. Yeah,
Got a
he's
good
from,
memory.
Yeah, he's from Ontario. Well, the nicotine, we should have short memories. Nicotine's supposed to help me.
Don't talk about my memory right now. It's not good.
No, well, never mind.
Mine's really bad.
Now go
I
back
remember
to
to put
the
pants
homework.
on.
It's all that flappy yappy.
Is
I
there a
don't even
biscuit
know what you're
recipe covering
Yeah, that's
a
what
layer
you
of
called
caramel
it. You called
cream
it
and,
flappy yappy.
Whew.
Like everyone always complains I don't talk a lot enough. I can't sit up tonight.
Oh, are you on some medication?
Oh God, I am high as a kite right now. Man.
Well, Mark,
I'm
Addy,
not the only one.
Addy's got a question in chat about the advocacy group in Edmonton. If that's the
Yes.
if that's the same one.
Yes, that is it.
Good.
I'm going to be sitting down with her. She will be coming on to one of our shows on Saturday.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Within the next couple weeks.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know because I'm gonna try to let's see. I'm gonna try to get the rock star on. I'm gonna try to get Mr. Conley.
Oh, that'd be wicked. We already have a rock star, so we're going to have to rename him.
Yeah, you have to.
Oh no, I hate the comparison. If I'm Kurt Cobain, he's fucking Eddie Van Halen. Seriously. Greg Connolly's my hero.
Yeah, as soon as he was done on C-SPAN this morning, I messaged him on Facebook. I'm like, dude, you just fucking killed it.
He's so awesome.
And then you had the drunk chick from that claimed to be worker for National Institute of Health call in saying about rolling your own cigarettes is safer than vaping, and I'm like, sweetheart, yeah, liquid breakfast.
But and you see, well, when you're live and people ask questions like that, the way people handle it and the way he handled that was, you couldn't fault it. You really couldn't fault it. Polite, informative.
Yeah,
gets the message across, which is wicked awesome.
Yeah, Ingvar, she's doing better driving. She's a shitty driver, I'll tell you that, but she's better. Backed into the Jeep in the driveway on her driver's side. Yeah. And then she was asking about a new bumper for her car. I'm like, well, you quit hitting shit. Maybe you'll get one.
We call them bull bars over here, mate, because there's kangaroos everywhere and stuff like that. The big bars on the front, mate.
I had to put one on the back though because she backs into shit. Well, now I do have to hook up tomorrow. She did go ahead and order on Amazon a rear camera.
Oh,
beautiful. Has the car got a tow bar, Frank?
It should.
Put a tow bar on there. That'll save everything.
Oh my gosh. I get told I'm a bad driver, and that's not even right.
Yeah, she was when I had a sugar breakfast. You were getting on my nerves, Kat.
I'm not a bad driver. I'm just a I just hate driving. I hate it.
Do you know my wife says that too? I'm not a bad driver, and I said, yeah, like in Rain Man, I'm an excellent driver.
I'm an excellent. Yeah.
One day I'm gonna have somebody that's driving Miss Tammy around all the time.
There you go.
I'm serious. I don't like driving. I just need a driver.
Driving Miss Tam. They made a film about that.
I know.
Yeah.
It's already going through my mind.
Graham hasn't driven since 09. Okay. Is that because you have fines? Or child support take your license? I haven't given it back yet. Let's see.
I
Lab
couldn't
work
leave.
says Simon number 247. What's that about?
I don't know. Mystery. Number 247. Oh, you lost me, Paul.
Oh, laptop shopping. That's fun.
Nice.
Hi,
Going
Liana.
for a different angle. New York only puts 2.5% of MSA. Yeah, the MSA money. Yeah, because they're using it for everything else. Hey, he doesn't care about the kids, please. And we learned something really important about Cuomo this week since his girlfriend left him for another woman. So how small is his package that she left him for another clitoris? Just saying. And that's not to
Hung like a
disparage
rogue
against
mouse.
that's not to disparage anything against lesbians, because I love everybody, but except you, Cuomo, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's a few others that fall in the category too, though, Frank. Usually they have governor in front of their name and honourable after it or something like that. But well,
No,
hopefully
dude.
the first strike in New York
Leader
was
bomb.
that first court case that's going to be re-upped. So
Yeah, well, apparently what happened yesterday was because they filed, to try to get an injunction, and it was rejected. But of course, the media wants to say, "Oh, it's rejected because it didn't have any merit." No, the judge wanted more information.
yeah, that's right. So it's just part of the process. So
Yeah,
don't despair. Don't despair.
yeah. Massachusetts, the one guy who owns multiple vape shops in Mass, he went ahead and he filed an injunction. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah, I read the Michigan. Was it Michigan? Yeah, Michigan directive, because it's really not a law.
No.
But they've made a specific hole in that in regards to zero nick juice.
Yes.
So the only restriction on zero nick juice is that it has no defining image. I think it was on the label. So if it's a strawberry, you can't have a picture of a strawberry.
Yeah.
But that's a fairly big hole. And like the issue being is that I guess you can't expect manufacturers to change a label overnight, but if they have zero nick stock, then there'd be nothing wrong with putting a white shrink wrap over it with just the name.
Yeah, Graham.
So
Grim did shut down Amber Juice as of
2 days ago.
Close of business Monday. Coupon code
Yeah,
Prohibition for a 50% off.
Yep.
Yeah, which is a shame. It's
That one's been going for a long time. What, 6-7 years?
2012-ish, 2013.
Yeah. So 6-7
Yeah.
years.
I used to buy the shit out of some Grim Juice.
I never tried it. I'm almost tempted just for the 50% off and just to try it. And
yeah, his donut one, the donut pounder from Epicloud's line, I used to just buy tons of that shit, 60 mils all day.
Wow.
And then I realized that it was like 8% Belgian waffle from TPA, and I was like, oh, I can make this on my own.
It's me, dude, has a fact check for the panel. Go for it, brother. Zip, you gotta go. All right, Zip. Take it easy, girl.
Mm-hmm.
There's it. The one thing in all of these, not so much. I'm not sure about New York, but the prohibitions that they're putting in place seem to only cover sales. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the gist of it? It's just sales. So if you go and buy some juice from Grim Green, buy 2 bottles, send one to someone in one of the states.
Yeah, good idea.
You know, the whole thing is that we as DIYers, you see it all the time. We're safe. We're fucking not. Right? We are not. So don't not fight because you think it's not going to affect you. It is going to affect you.
It's affecting
Trust
all
me.
of us. I mean, like, even here in North Carolina, we had our first death in Greensboro. Person was from Virginia, but they, it's right up the road. And right off the bat, they're Guilford County, where Greensboro is, they're talking about possible, different vaping bans. The vaping drama gets even worse. Study finds dangerous heavy metals and some. Yeah, it's been. Here's the thing with the
That's
dangerous
been
heavy
around
metals.
for.
Yeah, it's an older one, and what
Yep.
it is was they were basically melting the hell out of the metal. They were using it at ridiculous temperatures where you're melting it. It wasn't.
They were using CE3s and 2s, right? Like old school shit.
And
running into like 6 volts.
Yeah, and you can't vape that.
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't
They were
real world
also-
testing. Yeah.
It's like the formaldehyde studies where they were doing it with dry hits.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Not good science.
No.
And those ones with the heavy metals, what they were doing, they weren't even using a vape device. They just had a connector, and they burnt the wire. It just let it go. They didn't shut it off.
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to create all that shit. They just
Right. That's why we have
disintegrated
10-second cutoffs on our mods that we vape.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, if you're using a regulated device, yeah, you're
Except me.
Yep. Yeah. If you're using regulated.
I said I go home so late. I didn't even get a chance to set up any of my.
This
mechs
gets
tonight.
hot as hell if you hold it too long. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, a good grainy crust for the pie. Yeah, put a little cereal 27, or anything with AP.
Yeah.
Oh, also FA apple pie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
apple
of course,
pie for
sure.
sure.
You can use that for any kind of pie, basically a peach, a blueberry pie. The
Or
apple.
an apple pie with
or you can use this from Decadent Vapors, apple
apple
strudel.
strudel.
Nom noms. Nom noms.
Dude, the 18 to 24 months ago, but listen, the studies that they were doing were not real world studies. They were pushing stuff way past what is normal use.
Yep.
They were beyond
As
abusing the
Addy
product.
said, it was retracted. It was because their testing method was not
Yes.
real world, and it was actually pulled back. And media being media are never going to play with a story that is good news, are they? So they're digging up every bit of dirt from the last 10 years that they can possibly find just to.
But there isn't
Throw
a
mud
lot
at
of
the
stuff
wall.
from the last 10 years. There's they're looking for the misguided scientific facts that were back then. That's it. And they're going back as far as 2014 when a lot of shit was still in the beginnings. Like,
Well, yeah.
we were at 30 watts, 20 to 30 watts back then, and they're running shit that was up to
They were hooking
200
car
watts.
batteries up to to CE4 tanks.
Cleros.
Yeah. And using and using straight nickel 200.
Yeah.
And they were wondering why it was just melting into a glob. Oh, this
Like, I
could be
remember
good
when
for
I-
you.
I remember my first dry shitty hit when I first started vaping on one of those older 2.5 ohm devices or whatever,
Yeah.
and I never forgot that taste. And I was
Yeah.
never gonna go that far ever again. You know, what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
Nobody is vaping like that consistently because
Yeah, I had
you
one of
couldn't
those.
stand it.
Had one of those tanks that had a line on it that says "Do not go below that level." Well, I kept going below that level.
And you get dry.
One bad hit, and it's like, ooh,
Yeah,
that was.
You're coughing.
Like some of the first mesh coils that came out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
Try mesh it.
Yeah, if you just got a tiny little bit of space in there, like a micrometer space, and yeah, you're getting flames right down your throat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
kissing a dragon.
Spork, I'll raise you a popcorn lung. Yep.
Still waiting for the popcorn to come up. I haven't had it yet.
I know.
Well, aside from the fact that no one ever who's vaped has ever been diagnosed with
No.
popcorn lung,
Right.
we'll leave that.
Yeah.
No smoker has either, for that matter, and with dicetyl being 750 times odd more.
Yeah,
in a
then
vape.
in the worst e-liquid, yeah.
Yeah, I vape so much custard and cream and diacetyl, and I'm fine.
Well, you say that, but
No.
you're fine as far as popcorn lung goes.
Yeah.
I like this recipe. Cloudy Blows just put out there 0.5% in a Ware biscuit, 3% flavor West caramel candy.
That chocolate is way too high.
Yeah, it's dry. It's dry.
You're gonna have nothing but chocolate. That's all you're gonna taste.
Knock that down to about 1.5.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with Flavor West sweet cream. See, vanilla bean from Cap, yeah, at 1%, yeah. It looks good. I mean, I would just knock the chocolate down to about 1.5, and
Double chocolate clear is fine. I have it,
but not at 3%.
It's very strong. Don't go by whatever ELR says. You're gonna have the single flavor test all your flavors before you really, especially chocolates and coffees, because so you get the feeling of what it works for you.
Yeah,
like that 3% might be brilliant for you, but I would never use it that high.
Actually, Addy, there's a study just on the Public Health England. There's a study out. I think it was Italy with that went for 3.5 years with maybe 8,000 non-smokers who vaped, as in they have never smoked. They found that lung function was no different whatsoever. Now, I can't remember whether it was 8,000 people in the study and it went for 3.5 years, or it was 8 years and 3,500 people in the study. I can't remember which way around it is. Either way, it was a long-term study done specifically on people who have never smoked but who vape, and it was a bit of an eye-opener. And look, our health minister, who is totally not awesome, he did a podcast the other day saying that how in his watch there would never be nicotine in juice in Australia. And the thing after that is Canberra, our capital, where all the politicians have just legalised weed. And he quoted the Royal College of Psychiatrists as to their study on what marijuana can do, but he will not and has totally disregarded the Royal College of Physicians. So there's nothing like checking, let's cherry pick the information. We'll quote this one because it supports what I think, but we'll grind this one into the ground because it says something that I don't like.
Wow.
Yeah. So he is an absolute hat.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that he won't sit down even with any vape advocates, won't listen, does not care. He's a Kumo basically. So what? And he just even any study doesn't matter. He'll just disregard it unless it supports what he wants. He's just thrown $150 million at ANU, the Australian National University, to do a study on vaping, which is going to go for 2 years. And I have no doubt, like the vaping inquiry that they held in Parliament, the objective has already been set. This is what we want you to find. It's, you just sort of sit there and just go, talk about pushing shit uphill with a fork. I mean, getting off what's happening in Israel, what's happening in India, what's happening in America, what's happening in New Zealand. It's the biggest flow-on effect from fake news around the world that is.
Oh, yeah, it's turned into a worldwide hysteria over
Yeah. Yep.
over bullshit. I mean, not that these people's lives are bullshit, but the fact that it's being linked with vaping when we know, and even the CDC has finally, after a dozen people fucking die, come out and say, "Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, it really was the THC carts. There's something in them, and but we don't know what it is yet. So just stop vaping altogether." It's like, you just want to take the head of CDC and ram his head through a wall.
It is so frustrating when the information's been out there for weeks and weeks,
Yeah.
and yet all the media and the problem is over in the States, the truth started to filter down fairly quickly. Like, I mean, there was articles popping up. There were doctors saying about the illegal THC, the black market carts. Here in Australia, the media have totally disregarded anything about the THC carts. It hasn't. All they are focused on here is vaping. They've run numerous hit jobs. When they had the information sitting in front of them, they've chosen to go with what gets them the most eyes, and that is a headline that says "Vaping kills."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so frustrating. Reese from Clouded Visions put out a really good post in regards to the Australian media not doing their job, in that there's a code of ethics for the media, which, follow it, don't follow it, but there is a code of ethics, and the code of ethics says report the news, not, don't be one-sided, don't print one side of the story. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're just choosing to ignore what isn't sensational.
Yeah, we used to have a code of ethics here, but it's kind of gone away ever since social media, ever since electronic media came out.
Yeah.
Now they just, anybody can be a journalist per se if you have a Twitter account.
Yeah, or a blog or a Facebook account.
Yeah, you can pull anything out your ass and put it out there, and all of a sudden someone will pick it up and use it as as real journalism.
I mean, when it comes down to it, you could quite honestly say that, any story, if it's sensational enough, will get headlines eventually. So the fact that they're doing this, and the fact that us as vapors and a vapor industry have not resorted to that, we've got the truth on our side and we're fighting them with the truth, I think tells a massive story about how passionate and committed we are to this industry.
Yeah.
The fact that we're not prepared to stoop to their bullshit levels and protect their blood money, and
Nope.
it's there's actually another really good video that Vaping with Vic did in regards to the Fed releasing $200 billion. That's a really good video to watch. So if you want to spread that around to everyone, that would be a good thing too. The Feds, they've pretty much put 200. Now, finance isn't my strong point, so feel free to correct me, but from what I understand, the Fed has put $200 billion over the last week into the short-term money market, because the money market, the short-term loans were sitting at 10%. So to drop that percentage rate, they've actually flooded the market with $200 billion. Now, that short-term money market covers, believe it or not, bonds which states have issued
that
to
they're default on right now.
they're defaulting on their tobacco bonds pretty much.
Yeah.
So, whether that's what's happening, I don't know, but it seems pretty plausible to me that.
Well, here's what happened with that. You have, when the economy crashed in 08 and 09, states needed money because their businesses were closing up. I mean, it was a mess. Bush had things a mess. So then, well, actually, no, it wasn't even Bush. Was it Clinton? No, 08, 09. Yeah, that was Bush. Yeah, and that was so. What happened was the states used their projections for their MSA payments to sell bonds, and they were 10-year notes. Well, now 2018, 2019, these 10-year notes are coming due. Their MSA payments weren't what they were supposed to be, plus they mismanaged them and used them for other things as well, when they're actually supposed to be using this money for tobacco education and things along those lines. But instead they're just using it, just in the general fund. And yeah, they're screwed because they don't have the money. And to keep the states from actually going bankrupt, the Fed had to basically bail them out again.
I was reading one about, I think it's Virginia. They sold off half of theirs to a private company. So the private company takes half of their MSA money, and sold bonds against it. And that company is going to default or has defaulted, something along those lines. I can't recall the exact details of it, but obviously there's a financial mess that's been created by the MSA.
It would have been hilarious if that company was all true.
Right? Yeah. I wonder about the whole Altria buying into Juul to, like a massive conspiracy theory. I wonder about Altria buying into Juul just to sacrifice the vapor industry.
It wouldn't surprise me. Now they put their own CEO in place, that Philip Morris guy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the other guy wasn't really equipped to handle the storm, I think. That might have been.
He was good he was good when things were chill, but when once all hell broke loose, the bullets started flying, he didn't know what to do.
I think Greg said now we've got adults in charge. I had to laugh at that. but whether that's a good thing or not. But like the whole point is that the idea that they even have like a 4-month ban on vapor products, it may as well be forever, because it's going to clear the decks for this Harbour Health, for the ICOS, and the infrastructure that the vaping industry has built up, which is made, it's not big fucking tobacco. Every time I see that, I just go, geez, it is mums and dads started a business because it worked for them. If all of these, anti-vape, anti-this, anti-that, if they actually realised that it was just normal, everyday people that make up the vapor industry, I wonder if it would change the way they approach things. I doubt it, but it'd be interesting to, they seem to have this idea, because that Juul and an open vapor system are exactly the same thing. And setting the difference between the two is really important, but whether or not it can be done, I just don't know.
Yeah, because for both of them, you have a battery and you have an atomizer. Just one's a pod and one's open, open system.
Yeah. And the other thing is that they say that, we need to, I think what the quote was, we need to make it so people can't tamper with the contents. With an open vapor system, you can tamper with the contents. It's not like you go and buy a fucking full tank. You buy a sealed bottle of juice.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
No, you don't go in and they go, oh, here's a full tank and here's your mod and here's your, off you go. You buy a fucking bottle of juice. It is a sealed unit
Yes.
until you open it. So, you know, if you're if it's as tamper proof as a fucking sealed jewel, realistically. But frustrating is all. But, you know, from here, the shit's rolling down the side of the earth, and it's hitting Australia as well. It's hitting New Zealand. It's going everywhere. It's
I'm now here in Ireland, Scotland, which is crazy with having England right there and Ireland and Scotland talking about bans. I'm like,
I got a friend of mine that actually just started up the first advocacy group in Ireland. They just got okayed for their charity status.
oh, okay.
Their website is on the way. They're sort of still building up steam, but you know, so they're the first advocacy group in Ireland.
Well, they better stick a rocket up their ass and get it done quick because they're moving fast over there.
Yeah. You know, the drama over there, I believe, is that their prime minister is anti-vape and a doctor or an ex-doctor.
That's worse than an ex-smoker.
Like that old guy that was
Like his pocket.
like that old doctor that was on that should not be public speaking at all because he was, I mean, either completely clueless or just a straight up don't care liar. You know, saying that, you know, vaping is worse than smoking or just as bad as smoking, and
well,
he
let's
claimed
say,
to be a
like,
doctor, but he looked like he was about 103.
Well, Stanton Glances, you know, he said that smoking is better than vaping as well. And I mean, let's face it, he's not a doctor either, even though he's a professor of medicine. He's not a doctor. He's
I'm trying to figure out what's his PhD in, like auto mechanics or.
No, he's an engineer, mechanical engineer, I believe, and he worked in the field of with the human heart to work out the mechanics of the human heart, and as a result, he worked in the medical field. So he got a professorship at a school of medicine, but he's never done a fucking medical degree in his life.
Yeah, he's clueless.
So the media see, you know, professor of medicine. Yeah. They think, oh shit, this dude knows what he's talking about. He's a professor of medicine, but he's a fucking engineer.
Tweet, you know, his latest tweet talking about how you know, you're gonna get, what's it, lung disease from vaping. I comment on there as like, dude, you've said some really messed up shit, but you know, this is your new high score. I mean, because it's just way. I mean, the misinformation, like it's me, dude, saying right now is terrible. Yeah, GlaxoSmithKline's over-the-counter nicotine oral spray gets FDA approval. Yeah.
Well, they got a nicotine oral spray over here, which is, you know, just sprayed in your gob and you're all good. A friend of mine was going through a bottle of that a day at $38.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Before he started vaping, so you know, he was not smoking, but spending $38 a day on friggin' oral spray to stay off the smokes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you know, like when it came down to it, for another $2 a day, he could have smoked, but then he started vaping and he's spending $4 a day.
There you go.
Yeah, so you sort of. You look at it and you go, well, that oral spray is pretty much weak nicotine in
Now you got to
probably
get him to
PG.
DIY. Get him to DIY. It'll be pennies a day.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
I like what my peeps is saying there. With all the attention that they're giving to vaping lately, isn't it making it more enticing to kids? Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, it's now a taboo. We've got to try that.
Yeah.
But
the heat not burn. That's the IQOS that we were talking about. That Philip Morris got. They were the only company so far, only device that has been approved through a PMTA.
Yeah.
And that's
And
the
did
company
you see their filing? Did you see the filing of the PMTA? The paperwork that they had to produce for it, somewhere in the vicinity of 400,000 pages.
Yeah, it's insane, and they spent like 30 million.
Yeah.
Was it? Is that?
Yeah.
Did I get the decimal point?
So
right?
some
Scott?
ridiculous amount. It's and if you think about that, that's for that one item.
Yeah.
Because the actual sticks are basically cigarettes. They don't need it. Just the actual. That's just
Someone
the
tried
item.
to smoke just the stick. Someone tried to smoke just the stick, and it.
Jay Hayes did.
Oh, did
That's
he?
right. That's right.
I remember that.
But
They
this-
call it a tobacco plug, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, kind of like the old
Our
days where you
mistake.
just ripped off a piece and chewed it. You know, the plug.
but like the Australian government's not up for that either. Like they I think they're actively blocking that as well. And look, yes, it is a tobacco product, and it may help people get off smoking. It still has well, not all of them, but it still has. I think it's about 40 of the 90 carcinogens that a cigarette has.
Yeah.
They're just at slightly lower levels. So realistically, you're still going to friggin' die.
Yeah. I would just like to see what's left of it after you use one. You use that tobacco stick. I like to see what residue is left. If anything's actually burning or not.
Oh, whether there's like where they did that vapor versus cigarettes, where you get
If there's
that
any
that
ash
nice,
in there or not.
yeah, where you get that nice clump of brown goo that comes out of the cotton wool. Whether you've got a similar thing in the IQOS, that would be interesting. I'm not going to get one to try that out, but
No, let somebody else do it. But
yeah,
because aren't they even dipping those cigarettes in like PG or something?
I'm not 100% sure of
I
its
think
mechanics,
that's
mate.
That's why I think I heard something about that to help it vaporize better or something.
Okay,
That
yeah.
seems weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
about
I can see
Right.
the kids now sparking up those plugs. There you go.
Yeah.
Just spark up a plug rather than buy an actual IQOS. So, who knows? They'll try anything. Geez, when we were young, we used to smoke the bloody bits off the banana and fucking tea leaves and all sorts of shit. So, oregano because it looked the same.
Oh, how many kids in school got their ass kicked by trying to pass off oregano as weed? Trying to call them
Those are
pizza.
never that bold.
Trying to call them pizza joints. Oh, you're tasting pizza.
Flavored weed.
90% oregano or 100 or all oregano, depending on how stupid they were.
Mate. But look, we live in interesting times. I'm just hoping that common sense eventually prevails. Hopefully, and hopefully it's not too late for those businesses that are having to close their door. I watched a video the other day about a fella who had to close 3 of his shops.
Matthew Salter up in New York. He's part of Legion.
Yeah, look, yeah. It's got to be absolutely heartbreaking to build something up because you believe in a product and then just get punched in the dick,
All because somebody doesn't like it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, or because it's taken money off someone who spends it on golf carts or whatever the fuck they do with their bloody MSA money.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely not using it for what it's supposed to be used for.
Yeah, it's whatever, prop up the budget, do whatever, oh, yeah, we'll just use this. This is here.
Well, hell, we've
It's
been
just-
talking about this for over an hour. Let's get into some mixing.
Yeah, we should probably talk about what we were meant to talk about. We were meant to be all happy and non-dark, weren't we?
Ooh. Oh, we're gonna be happy?
Yeah, happy.
Oh, we could be happy. Happy, joy.
If you're happy and you know it.
I was
Clap your
ready to
hands.
clap my hands.
I have a Triton also, Sin. I have like 2 or 3 in the other room.
I still have my Nautilus. It's packed away.
I have
but
a Nautilus,
I still have some coils for it, like 1.8 ohm coils for it.
Yeah, I
and
still
he was
vape all
talking about the Cleto.
I still vape this.
Wait,
I
is-
stick
Oh,
to
that
the
was
earbud.
that was Fidalgo's favourite for a long, long time.
Is that how
I
you
wonder-
say Cleto, or is it?
Yeah, I know he had a heap of those, and
I
are you
love
still
my-
vaping them? Are you still vaping them, Fidalgo?
Didn't I just see it in
That's a
this
classic.
drawer?
Gotta have one laying around, he says.
How you doing?
Custard and cream.
Yeah,
What do you got, Frank?
basically, let's look at it this way. You know, we have all these people that are in states that they may have to learn how to mix like really fast. At least get something that it's vapable. And they may go to Nick River, they may go to Liquid Barn. I prefer, if you're going to start off and you need everything, I prefer Nick River's
Cleto.
starter kit because it comes with everything for like $60. You get 15 10 ml bottles of flavor. You get,
Or-
actually I think they're 15 ml bottles now.
Yeah, they're all 15s, eh?
Yeah, so you get 15 of them, plus you get was a liter of VG, or you can get half liter of VG and PG, but might as well just get the liter of VG, especially if you drip. You get 150 ml bottle of 48 milligram nicotine. You get gloves, you get syringes, you get glassware, so you get everything. So I look at it this way: if I were to start over and needed to buy 15, and that's all that's all I could afford. It was 15 flavors to get started with, and I'm running out of juice, and the vape shops are no longer in business, and I can't order finished product online. That's the only thing I could get. You want to have at least at least 1 or 2 custards in there and 1 or 2 creams to get you started.
Yep.
Plus whether you do bakeries or you do fruits or both, or Sim bought a kit that had 10 flavorings in it. I think Liquid Barn does one that has like 10.
Yeah, there's be the second choice because the Liquid Barn kit is pretty good too. But I mean, obviously with Nick River, you're going to have a bigger selection of flavors.
Yes,
to choose from.
that's why I always
so
recommend Nick River.
Yep.
But do you
And,
get the good scale at Nick River?
No, you don't. That's the trade-off.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
But an LB501's about $20 or so, isn't it?
Oh,
Something around those.
25 to 30 on Amazon.
yeah.
I think I paid like 30 for mine.
Yeah, I think they sell them
$6.
I think they sell them for about $90 over here. So yeah,
Dang.
get your $9 friggin' cheap jewelry scales off eBay
Yeah,
that do 500 grams and a 0.01.
that's
they're-
all you
they're
need. I mean,
plenty good enough.
That's all I ever use.
what's up, Nance? Probably raining and cold there. She's up in Newfoundland, my cousin.
New face.
Yeah, my other cousin Tracy I talked to. It was snowing at her house this morning. I'm like, I always have to convert everything to to Celsius for her. So I'm like, it's like 34 right now. So I'd rather have the snow. It was like 95 degrees in the middle of the afternoon. She's like,
I know.
and she sent me a picture. It was like flurry and a little bit of hail in there. She's out in Alberta.
Where are my glasses?
Yeah, I heard they got 3 feet of snow in some places.
Oh, up in the mountains of Montana and stuff, they were getting like 3 to 4 feet. First blizzard of the year.
Yeah, it's historical snowfalls and stuff like that.
Oh, it's gonna be a shitty winter. My
I
peeps
don't-
woke up to
I
snow on
think
the
the
ground
East
this
Coast
morning.
is going to be safe. I think the East Coast is going to be safe.
Hate snow. Hate it.
Well, we usually get one here that shuts everything down for about a week. It takes about 5-6 inches. That's all it takes.
I'm in
to shut it down
Canada.
for
There's
a
no
week.
such thing as a shutdown.
Well, no.
Well, see, conversely, we're coming into summer where the roads will actually start melting. So yeah.
Yeah. The roads themselves will melt. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not shitting you. The Hume Highway, which is about 80 k's from me, last year there was about a 20 kilometre section. The fucking bitumen melted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
I believe it. My peeps is in Alberta. Yeah, my cousin's all the way up at Fort Mac. It was like 34 degrees.
We be close for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Calgary that got hit the most. Calgary and everything south of that.
Oh yeah. Well, that's more elevation too, isn't it? Isn't Calgary
Yeah.
kind of like in the mountains, like part of the Rocky Mountains?
Yeah, pretty close, not far.
We need Trucker in here because we've gone from fruits from custards to the weather.
So the shit weather that's coming.
but favorite custard around the room.
Can you get legendary at Nick River yet? I know they have Mullenberry, but did they get the legendary in?
Laurie, you're in Calgary, aren't you? Or around there? Edmonton?
Let me see if I can look.
Man, that's a tough one. Favorite custard? Favorite custard concentrate? Just single concentrates? I'd say my most go-to is TPA. Weirdly.
That is weirdly.
Right?
There it is. Hands down. Just drop them off.
I haven't tried
What was
legendary.
that?
Legendary
This is
custard.
legendary.
I haven't tried it yet.
I listed. I went to buy. I went to re-up on it, and it was sold out. And then I went and looked like I was getting ready to send Marcelina an email like, "Hey, when you restock on Bull City, can you send me an email and tell me?" But then I look again, and boom, there it was. I'm like, "You sons of bitches!"
This I asked it to be carried at this DIY place here in Canada. As soon as he got it in, the first batch was gone within a couple days, and the next it just flies. It flies off the shelf extremely fast.
Let's see.
Yeah. I do have legendary, but I have not tested, so I've only just sort of put a bit on the knuckle and went, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, they do not have it at Nick River.
My favorite go-to is Inawera custard.
Yes.
Yeah, I love
go-to,
Inawera custard. I get a nice eggy note from it. Now I know you guys in North America can't get it easily, but custard premium. I knew you did say that. We probably shouldn't mention it, Frank. But
well, yeah, I mean, as far as if you're over in Europe or something, other places, but Inawera's is
yeah. I love a combo, a trinity, if you will, of custard, which is Inawera at about 0.15, custard premium at 2, and Flavora vanilla custard at 1.2. That's probably my go-to custard combo. It's you get a nice little note of egg through it, which I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
I used to add meringues to my custards because I really love a real eggy. I couldn't find one. But legendary custard, I fly through it, and the Flavora custard I like too because it's got a nice eggy note too.
Yeah. And with a custard or a cream, always good to thicken up the mouthfeel is a little bit of coconut.
Or sugar.
Yeah, cookie. Sugar cookie, coconut. There's a lot of things that you can throw into a custard. It's probably the I would say the most versatile flavor profile that is out there. Simply because pretty much everything will fit with a custard. You can throw a tobacco in there, you can throw a fruit in there, you can throw cookies in there, bakery profiles. So if you are starting DIY or looking at DIY, then really you should have one or two custards in your arsenal.
Yes.
And minus some of the burnt sugar notes that you get from creme brulee, that is a real good go-to as well.
Yep.
Now here's
I
one.
like throwing a little Inawera or one-on-one creme brulee in custard is really nice.
One-on-one creme brulee, that's one of my favorites.
Now, where do you guys classify one-on-one's vanilla custard cheesecake? I think you could use it within a cheesecake combo, or you can use it to thicken up a custard. I think you can use it.
Yeah, it's like a cream thickener kind of. It can be used for sure.
Yeah. And if you don't want to use like a biscuit or a sugar cookie, you could use that, and maybe even throw a little bit, maybe toasted coconut cheesecake from Perillam in there.
Yeah, I use that in custard that a cheesecake that I've got. I love that flavor. It is a really good flavor. It's quite subtle, and you know, the coconut is not super forward.
Yeah.
But it does the job for creaming it up. Something I really like in a custard though is a bit of brown sugar, just to get some dark sweetening in there. It's you know, and one of the few TPAs that I use is their brown sugar, which is an excellent flavour. You know, great in a custard. You sort of almost get, if you use it, you know, around 0.5 or so, you're going to get that dark sweetness, almost like you've got that cracked sugar on the top of a creme brulee.
Yes.
You get that similar sort of note to it, which is awesome. And FA custard, if you're using, you know, you want to mix with fruits, you get a light lemon note with it, so it helps to boost your fruits. You know, there's so many custards that are out there, and you know, back in the day, it was everyone's go-to was.
I'm telling you.
Sorry, Tam.
The cat wants to mix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. like back in the day, the only custard that anyone ever used was Cat V1. Now there is such a selection of custards that are all really good.
Let's see, that much Cat V1 left, and 120. Yeah. This is 2 years old.
Yeah, look, I mean, I used to go through a ton of Cat V1, and I found that
it's steeped out really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pre-steeped. But yeah, I used to go through tons of Cat V1. I tend not to use it anymore, simply because I find that there are better custards out there. For me, Cat V1 is a pudding rather than a custard.
Yeah.
That's my Cat V1.
Yeah.
It's really old.
Let's see. It's me, dude. One more question. Mixed percentage for like an RY4 almond or hazelnut pistachio and sweet brown sugar. Let's see if you're gonna go just RY4 double at like 3%. FA almond at 1. And then
You could use almond custard from Wonder Flavors.
that too.
Oh yeah, that stuff's amazing. That's really good.
I gotta look and see if I don't think I have that one yet.
It's like a marzipan or Disrano sort of almond.
Okay.
I do love that flavor. It is a fantastic flavor, and you can boost that almond note in it with a little tiny bit of FA marzipan if you like FA marzipan. Some don't, some do. But
I use toasted almond
Yep.
with it. Oh.
Yeah, and that would go really, really nicely with a RY4. Now, I'm not a huge tobacco buff or anything like that.
No.
RY4 to me is more a caramel. It's just a dirty caramel.
You can also use pistachio cream from Wonder Flavors. It is technically an ice cream, but it's thick enough. If you're looking for a slight nutty notes, it's really good too.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a pistachio custard and using that, and maybe a little bit of a TFA pistachio, and throw a little bit of almond in there, and throw Fresh's Quick custard at it, which we still need to talk about. 4% Liquid Barn with a 3/4% flavor of vanilla pudding, and boom.
You better extend that, Frank. Liquid Barn vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, what did I say?
You just said Liquid Barn.
I meant the vanilla ice cream.
Might make it a little bit confusing, but
yeah.
Just get every flavour from Liquid Barn and chuck it in at 4%. It's all good.
Oh. I have 140% mix. All PG.
Yeah, nice. No throat in.
Yeah, none at all. No, be smooth.
So going back to that egg note for the custards, you could also use the eggnog from Flavora at a very low percentage. That would.
Yep, eggnog in custard
Yeah,
is a really good combo. It's a really good combo. That light spice that it has too is really nice.
Which custard would you use it with? Any of them, or do you think it'd be better
You,
with one or
you
the
can
other?
throw it at pretty much any custard.
Yeah.
And you stay down low with it, but
Like
it just
0.2, 0.3, somewhere in that ballpark.
yeah, somewhere between 0.3 and 0.5, depending on how much you like that spicy sort of eggy note that that it has. But yeah, that's fantastic in a custard. It's and it will push a custard to kind of an unidentified flavour. You know what I mean? If you've got a custard, then quite often you can vape it and know exactly what it is when you're throwing in slightly different things. Bait and click.
Oh.
That's the media.
Yeah. What's the ABV on that one?
High.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I actually can't remember. This is the local brewery that the band played at last Halloween.
Oh, cool.
And they make some really good freaking beers. This is a double dry hopped double pale ale.
Ooh.
For anybody who is interested.
Wow.
I'm about to look up the ABV because I can't remember.
That would be spicy as hell for me.
Bait and click.
I'm not gonna be mixing, but I already have a recipe. It's my all-day vape that it is a custard. This stuff, and it's speaking of that almond custard from Wonder Flavors too.
6.2, Frank.
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, cotton coil. Oh, well, I usually use
Nice.
cotton bacon, or I'll get the threads, but usually cotton bacon anymore. Or I get this other stuff. What the heck? I have a big tub of it downstairs. I got at the Vape Expo, and it's really good. Fusion cotton is called. That stuff will last you
I'm gonna put a
forever.
link of my custard.
Yeah.
It's already been released. It's this is my all-day vape. This stuff is it's all Wonder Flavors. Go figure.
No way.
No, not you. Yeah, I'm gonna finish.
That's why I said go figure.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish answering
it's,
Ingvar's question. I usually use either a Citadel or a Wasp Nano, or like a fuse Clapton. It comes out around 0.2, usually around 50 watts. And
I use the drop. I have like 6 of them all
Drop
over the
rules.
place. I love the drop. It's easiest to coil, easiest to cotton. My coils for my flavor testing, 0.15. And I use cotton bacon.
nice. I do have the almond custard according to this. I must have got it in my last order. I thought I picked it up. I think the only one I didn't get yet was the almond cookie. And I don't have the honey roasted peanuts.
That shit's so good. Get it.
I know.
I've got one here which look, it's got one ingredient which might be a little bit difficult for people to get hold of because it's a special blend from FA UK, which is called Marzi Malone. I'll just post it into chat. It's you could probably get a similar sort of flavoring using Irish cream and marzipan, probably about 75% Irish cream, 25% marzipan. But that custard is the almond custard from Wonder Flavors at 1.1, coconut custard at 2, premium custard 1.5, holy vanilla at 1, Marzi Malone at 1. And that gives you a nice almond coconut with a Irish cream finish, which is pretty nice. Hasn't got a lot of flavour, and it's only at 6.6%, but pretty tasty mix. So, and I do really like both the coconut custard and the almond custard. And in that respect, that particular custard, the coconut custard, actually lends to the mouthfeel really, really well, thickens it up really nicely.
Which coconut custard did you use?
The Wonder Flavors.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Mark's about to.
Oh.
It's coming! It's coming! It's coming! But yeah, look, that is a fantastic custard.
It's the
It really
only
is.
flavor I buy 4 ounces of.
Yeah, there you go. Bang. So
This is my second bottle.
yeah, look, it's a lovely mix. The Marzi Malone is, as I said, it's a special UK blend, but you could make up your own version thereof using marzipan and FA Irish cream if you so desired. And I would suggest probably about 0.25% of marzipan and about 0.75 of the Irish cream. The marzipan in that will push the almond custard a little bit, because for me the almond custard is essentially a custard marzipan type Disrano mix, which is very, very pleasant. I just found with the Irish cream I needed to push that almond note a little bit further, so I used Marzi Malone rather than just Irish cream. But, so that one's pretty tasty. But yeah, I've got a few concentrates that are probably a little bit harder to get hold of in the States, and sub as you see fit. But one of my favourite mixes, and I vape it pretty much all day in this little puppy here, is Custard Slut. which I'll post that one up in chat as well. Brown sugar, this is what I was talking about before, at 1%, which is fairly high for brown sugar. Inawera custard at 1.5, premium at 2. Now I've used the Madagascar vanilla bean black label from Real Flavors here. Now a sub for that is smooth vanilla at probably about 0.2. It's just used to boost the vanilla notes from the Flora custard, which is a bit further down there. Toasted coconut cheesecake at 1%, and vanilla custard from Flora at 1.2. Now in that particular mix, the toasted coconut cheesecake is there to push the mouthfeel a little bit. It comes through a little bit. It's a really pleasant mix. I reckon I'll probably vaped, I don't know, a litre of that easily. So there's one to have a play with if you feel the need. And then there's a drunken version of that as well, which I was gonna call it. I was going to call it drunken custard slut, but then I thought, well, that's probably a bit over the top.
I don't think so.
Well, this one's got an even better name. It's called Sofa King Disgusted.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, God.
So that's pretty much custard slut with butter rum and Vape Train light rum, just to give it that rummy darkness, which is also really nice. So again, feel free, sub away. It's a really nice profile. It's another one that I pretty much hit all day. So and I tend to go fairly light on the ones that I are on all day, simply because I vape relatively high wattage. So just bear that in mind. You may need to, if you're using a sub-ohm tank or something which is a little bit smaller, a little bit less powerful, you may need to bump those percentages up a little bit to suit your own taste. So they're my 3. Someone else, Tam, off you go. Throw you in the deep end.
Do I need to do 3? It's interesting because I'm going through my recipes and I'm like, holy cow. I type in my recipes and I type in custard and I'm like, really? And I'm just, when did I do this one? I'm like, I forgot about this recipe. And it's just, I'm like, this looks good. I need to mix it. But it's just one of these things, like, you mix them and you vape it and then I forget. And I'm like, I need to mix this again. This looks really good. So I feel kind of
You
But-
moved on to the next latest and greatest without giving it its full due, didn't you?
Yeah,
your
that's what I'm
families, yeah.
saying. I need to go back and look at some of these and like. But it's interesting because I have one. I mean, it's just called croissant pudding, and I made it at Christmas last year at Fresh's Christmas Spectacular show. I guess a fundraiser for St. Jude show, and it's has custard premium from Flavor Art at 1%, vanilla pudding at 1.5%. So that's like my custard base, if you will. And then aged bourbon cream, which we love, at 0.75.
Oh yeah.
And Wonder Flavors croissant at 3%. Golden syrup at 0.75% from Vape Train. And forest fruit mix at 3%.
Oh, I love that shit.
Ooh.
Oh, and it is
Wow, I like that actually.
so it's 10% flavorings. So it's like a, and I'm just like, why haven't, when did I mix this? I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to mix this right now because this is, I'm not trying to toot my recipes. I'm just like, yeah. I'm just like, I forget about recipes that I had. So wait, there was another one that because I was going through, we were talking about, this one right here, we were talking about how I like to mix. Oh, we were talking about, I'll share screen this one. So I'm not just talking and it's like, let me have a look at while you talk. Okay, see, now this one's different. I see all the screens. Okay. This is called Crunch My Custard Rhubarb. So it's like a custard rhubarb, if you will. So I did my Inaware custard that I love, 2%.
Oh, it's got one of my favorite concentrates in it.
But I used the vanilla custard cheesecake from 101 at 1%. And I have the rhubarb cuddle, which is the rhubarb, but it also has that custard note in it from Decadent Vapors with it, which is the creme anglaise. So it helps boost that custard note altogether. And oats and cream cookie from Wonder Flavors, 2%, which gives that extra crunchiness for the top note. And then just for the flavor and the sweetness, honeycomb at 1% from Vape Train. I'm like, I need to mix that too again. That's a nice, simple, but a good custard, you know?
I do so love that rhubarb cuddle.
I do too.
The rhubarb in it is quite similar to Inawera rhubarb. It's a lot. It's got a lot of grape tartness to it.
Yeah.
Which is the similar note to the Inawera, and it's just a really nice combo of custard and rhubarb. And if anyone loves rhubarb, that is one that you really should get.
Yeah, I do. I don't know how often I've actually had rhubarb in my life.
I can say I've never had rhubarb.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Frank.
I cannot
Frank.
recall the last time I had rhubarb.
I'm too
if I
Yankee
have,
for
I don't remember it.
rhubarb. It's a southern
What
thing
about
here.
RuPaul?
Rhubarb apple pie, mate. You've never tried a rhubarb apple pie.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about it. It's not something that's ever come across me.
No, okay.
How about RuPaul? Have you had
You better work. Cover girl.
I love the way I just love that sweet and sour, tangy. You know, it's kind of a combination of flavors. Rhubarb.
Yep.
Dude,
Yep.
this
It is a
And
good
I
one.
like that.
Dun, 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 dun. I just
That's
got
my
this
mum's-
today, by the way.
That's my mum's ringtone.
Oh, she's calling again? Is her
I
iPad
remember.
working?
Yeah, no.
I just ordered this
What
I
is
don't know,
that?
4 days ago. This is a smoke mod. It's the T-Storm. It's
Oh.
obviously meant to look like a stormtrooper. That's the only reason I got it.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
But I dig it. I just put batteries in it for the first
That's
time.
marketing towards children, isn't it?
It's marketing towards nerds.
Yeah,
It's
you're right.
totally,
It's
that's a totally
marketing-
different thing.
It's
Which I will
marketing
gladly
towards
accept.
people who were born in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just shy. I was born in 80.
I remember seeing Star Wars at the cinema
So do
when
I.
it first came out.
All of them.
I remember waiting in line to see Return to Jedi. Like they had it on like 5 screens, and the theater was like all the way to the back of the parking lot. People just waiting in line to get in.
Yeah, now not so much. They're sort of, but those first ones, because they were so different to anything that's been out before, they were so popular.
If you guys hear a baby cry, it is not your imagination. I have like a 2-week-old grandson upstairs that's crying right now.
Oh.
Oh, it's not a ghost. It's not an apparition. It's
Oh no, it's a poltergeist.
yeah.
Sensei Kidney Puncher sells a decent DIY mixing kit.
No, I didn't know that.
I got a bunch of bottles from there, dirt cheap. And I think, I don't think I picked up anything else though.
If you do go out and buy if anyone's watching this that is new, if you do go out and buy a DIY kit, make sure it's got bottles,
Yes.
because you will need bottles.
You need lots of bottles.
Lots of bottles, and if you think that you get 15 flavors and 15 bottles,
No.
then double your bottles, because you're going to need them. Because
And do not save your glass ones from the store-bought juices, because sometimes the rubber from the squeeze will break, and if you start shaking it can squirt out.
Yeah. Make a
Oh,
mess.
we were talking about lemon meringue pie. Sorry, I'm talking out loud.
That's all right. Let's see how this is. And if this is good off the shake, I will release it. I did a pistachio RY4 custard.
Yes.
Natalie,
No.
I'm going to put a link for you for that.
That sounds awesome.
there's
That's
actually
one thing
there
I
was a
remember.
place that was
I told Rye I was going to, if he decided when he decided he was going to get into DIY. I had one that I made after the butterscotch reserve from
Yeah, that's what I've been vaping in honor of him, dude. I've been vaping that just for the last fucking 4 days in honor of him. It's his favorite. He actually sent me that bottle.
there was a place that was that had an ELR discount code. Dropperbottles.com, I think it was.
I just linked it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, I think the code's DIY. So
Yeah,
they're
it is.
legit.
It's DIY.
yeah,
Yeah, they're
so
good site. They get you your stuff really quick too.
I live in Canada. It was for the 100 bottles. It came to, I believe, like $35 Canadian. Shipping is what killed me, but it's still
so
cheaper
$4
than what I-
United States dollars USD then.
Right?
I paid more for
So-
shipping than I paid for my order.
Well, these bottles here I got from Dropper Bottles. These little 30 ml ones, and these weren't bad. I think for 100 of them,
Where these
shipping
are
and
from?
everything, it was like 30 something bucks.
Yeah, I got 100 of these, but these are these.
Yeah.
Try to fill these with anything.
That's the other thing. If you're going out and buying bottles, buy wide mouth bottles. You can mix directly into the bottle. Don't get the little tiny ones, because
These are
you'll
Boston
just
Round.
Until you get good at doing that pour, like that high pour, like Mike does.
These are called Boston Round. These are really good,
Mhm.
but you got to get the wider mouth.
Yeah.
Once this actually goes through, because of course Lars has, he must not have paid the hosting bill or something, because that shit's still running slow as hell over there.
I actually saw on one of our TV shows, Paul. I don't know whether Paul's still in chat or not. Labworks.
Yeah,
He
he had
was,
a meeting about something. No, he's a rock. He's a Yeah, he's famous now over there, so he had meetings. He can't
Big
hang
wig.
out. He
Yeah.
can't hang out with us little
Well,
people.
Yeah, they had him on a current affair, and he had a beaker on a mag stir, and he was doing the Salt Bay pour with
Yeah.
the fuck. Just after that, I'm just like, he's about 3 feet above, and I'm just like, oh, dripping off your elbow, mate. Come on. I had a good laugh at that one. I'm just like,
Yeah,
yeah,
he was being a show off a little bit.
that was funny though. I had a good laugh at it. I'm just like, hey, beauty, 3 foot pour on your VG, nice.
All right, let's get this.
Did you get the V2 of the Holy Grail, Frank?
Yeah, it's okay. I still like the OG. I mean,
When it's gone, it's gone.
yeah, I know. I still have. This is what 60 ml bottle, and that's got about 40 mils left.
Oh, okay.
V2. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, you got the gifty version.
I did.
Nice.
Good,
I wish I had known that they were doing gifty versions, because I put both of them in my cart and I got no gifty version. I'm like, if I had known they were handing out the samples of the other ones, I wouldn't have put them in the cart. But well, has anyone run with the Holy Resurrection yet?
Nope.
The new Holy Grail.
With the new Holy Vanilla, is that what it is?
Yeah, because they did. Yeah, sorry, the Holy
Oh.
Vanilla. Because they did Holy Vanilla V2. The V2 got
I
shut.
just got it like at my
I have
birthday,
the
and I
V2.
haven't even tried it yet.
What's the percentages you're supposed to mix them at? Do you know, or is that proprietary on their part for Resurrection?
Yeah,
Oh,
no
it's
idea,
top
mate.
secret, Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just go ahead and
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'll
about
be
the
interested to try
same.
that one at some stage, because I haven't tried it. From what I've heard, it's as good as the original. So
Oh, where did I put it?
I always had problems getting the original shipped, because in their MSDS they actually classed it as Class 3 flammable. So getting that to Australia used to cost you a friggin' bomb, because, well, it's got to fly. Otherwise, you see it 10 years later.
It'll be
But
steamed.
yeah, but the new one doesn't have the same flammability level, according to the MSDS. So
Yeah, I think the
gotta play
V2s are more like, a little bit safer as far as like less shit in them, like less DAP and stuff. Or there isn't any DAP, but
yeah, it just less alcohol content
yeah.
over the board. So Class 3 flammable is in the same class as petrol.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure they were Class 3 flammable, because not wanting to light them up and see, but
Well, hell, there's been residual butane in MTAC carts, so
there's
to
been
go
a
with
lot
the
of
pesticides.
residual everythings. Yeah.
Yeah, leftover pesticides that are getting.
Actually, I noticed something funny with that. Well, not funny, but the media, they were saying that they found traces of a pesticide that, when heated, will turn into arsenic, I think it was, or cyanide.
Cyanide,
So,
yes, hydrogen cyanide, yeah.
Hydrogen cyanide. And the media missed out a really important step in their reporting, and have said that they contain hydrogen cyanide. They straight out said it contains hydrogen cyanide, when the guy that did the testing was right there, and he said that it will degrade with heat, or could degrade with heat, to hydrogen cyanide. And the reporter's gone, there you go, contains hydrogen cyanide.
yeah.
You go, dude, seriously, he's right there.
In reality, what it is one of the extraction processes for THC involves butane.
Yes.
And if you don't extract it properly, there's residual butane, which, when heated, cyanide. Like, that's science. That's true. But if you're buying it from a lab and it's been tested, that's not going to happen.
Well, no. But when you're buying it from Carlos down the street.
Yeah, exactly. And his brother, little Joker.
Yeah, exactly. He's got tattoos like 6'9" on his face and stuff.
The whole thing
Right.
is, the whole thing is that we entrust journalists to
Yeah.
get us the correct information so that we can stay informed and make decisions. And they are fucking failing so hard on
dude.
every single aspect.
Yeah, they have an important job and they're failing at it
Yeah,
regularly.
and you're talking a job right now that's jeopardizing public health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a fantastic post which I shared on Facebook from Legalised Vaping Australia that said that 95% of Australian vapers are over the age of 25. If the companies are employing and targeting youth with their advertisements, they need new PR firms because they're doing a
Yes.
shit fucking job.
Yeah, exactly. Natalie, we can't trust anything the media says right now. If they give me a score at a ball game, I got to go back and double check it.
Yep.
It's
And I
ridiculous.
mean that's their job is to inform the public as to current affairs and news, and they just are not fucking doing it.
No.
Creating false mass paranoia.
Oh,
Yeah,
exactly.
makes me angry as hell, you know.
Ouch.
And you know, then you've got politicians that are feeding, are calling out fake news when it affects them, but listening to fake news when it supports their narrative.
Exactly.
You know. Oh, we're back
I
onto the
said it.
media from custard. Everything's going to custard.
How's the vape, Frank?
This is good.
Nice.
I could tell.
No, you're not saying it right. How do you say it, Mark? Oh, it's good.
Yeah, I figured about three days for that RY Ford and the
I'm too
pistachio to
I'm
come
too high
together.
to say anything like that right now.
It was funny. Like I'll listen to an app on my phone. It's Radio Canada, and there's like public service announcements on there about driving while high on cannabis and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I think they're gonna need to start playing them here.
They actually do roadside testing here for marijuana and amphetamines. Just recently they did, totally unrelated to anything but an interesting talking point nonetheless. They do these roadside tests where you swipe your tongue and they then test it. They found that the roadside test returned 20% false positives
Yes.
and 15% false negatives.
Yes.
Right.
Christ.
Then the secondary test was somewhere in the vicinity of 12% each way. So 12% of people that have lost their license due to driving under the influence of a drug are innocent,
Right.
and 12% of the people that got away with it. So you sit there and go, seriously, what's the friggin' point?
Yeah. All that testing and all that court, that costs money. Like, that's just
Oh,
money being
Thousands
thrown
of
away.
dollars.
Yeah, throw it away. Throw that money away.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I mean, totally worthless. I mean, you'd be better off with the copper leaning through the window, going, "Geez, your eyes look really fucked, mate. You shouldn't
Yeah.
be driving."
Yeah, but that's like that cartoon joke. It says, "Cop says your eyes look pretty glossy," or you look stoned, your eyes are bloodshot, and then you look in the cop's eyes, you look pretty glossy. You must be eating donuts.
Well, I mean, surely a better test for marijuana would be to fucking have a bag of potato chips and hold it just out of their reach to see if they jumped out of the car to get it.
Or if they just
Drunk
want
drivers
just set up
run
a-
stop signs, and stone drivers stop at stop signs waiting for it to turn green.
When's it gonna go green, man?
or just have a checkpoint right outside the Taco Bell drive-thru.
If they jump out of the car and run to Taco Bell, then they're probably off their nut.
No, you get them when they're coming out of Taco Bell because they got the munchies and they stop there to go in there.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to hand it to them that they've sold these things as being totally legit. and they are 100% accurate, and they're just simply not. And you sort of go, you can't possibly expect that something that is that inaccurate for people to sort of then respect the enforcement that you're handing down.
You can't.
You know, but yeah, no, we digress yet again. But oh, good.
We have had a hell of a time tonight keeping this show on the rails.
Yeah, it's freaking. It's like the old locomotive, mate.
I was trying to answer questions in chat too while we were all bullshitting in here. Like I was trying to throw out some knowledge too.
Yeah, I mean, I
feel like we did a good job.
Well, that makes one of us, Adam. Yeah, good job.
You get a star.
Yeah, glad to have you back, Adam.
Gold star for me.
Yeah.
Gold star for you. I got really distracted. They started talking about the art, I don't even know what the fuck it is now because I put it away. The tanks, and I pulled out my tank.
The Cleto.
The Cleto.
Oh yes. And I'm like, I know I have the rebuildable for it in here, and I'm searching the drawer and I can't find it, and I'm looking, and I found the rebuildable for another tank, but not that one. And I'm like, so I just put it back.
I remember the first rebuildable that I played with was the RBA base that came like the Big Baby Beast.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I had over
that
here.
Sucked.
Yeah, they're hard to build on.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
little.
The hardest one I've ever built was the Crown 1. They had an RBA head for that, and I shit you not, like I could use a magnifying glass and still couldn't fucking see it. It was so small.
Yeah, Hyro 3. Did you
Pyro.
get the 3?
RDTA.
The 2
Oh, I
sucked.
have the 2.
Yeah.
That's the original.
Oh, I have 2 of the originals.
Yeah,
Look,
I have the 2.
We used
and I
it
don't know if
once,
it's
put
the
it back in a
coils.
box, and haven't used it since.
Yeah, I could not get flavor out of the 2 because for some reason it just, I don't know if it was the way I was wicking it, the way I was building on it or whatever. I couldn't get enough saturation.
Really?
Yeah.
I do good with mine. I like it a lot.
I don't know if it was that or the coil. I mean, the coils I used the stock coils that came with it, and I think there was
So did I.
some kind of Kanthal that not really good flavor.
You just got to have the touch.
Well,
Does anyone else get a slight metallic taste from Kanthal coils?
Yes.
Yes, I get a rusty taste.
Yeah, okay. For a while, I thought it was me.
Oh, I used Kanthal when I first started rebuilding. Came in a little coil art kit. Had a little
First
little
builder
spool
was
with
the
26 gauge.
The IGO L was my first stripper, and as you can see, it is drilled out. It took freaking 3 drill bits to drill this thing out.
Well, can we just make Fidalgo happy really quick? Medicine flower blueberry is still number 1.
But we're talking about creams, Fidalgo. Blueberry was last show.
I'm biased.
Now, if it was
Swag
blueberry
blueberry.
cream, you're perfectly fine.
Now, Fidalgo, if you want to take a bath and have your medicine flower blueberry with you and tell us about it, we will listen.
Yeah, that stuff's like a bath bomb.
This is going to happen. This is going to happen. It is going to happen.
Yeah,
I got room for another square down there.
I'll get a message for a link and I'll send it to him.
No, VSO is better.
VSO blueberry is
Different though.
Yeah, they're different.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
They're different.
Have you tried
It's
is it Fidalgo or Fidalgo?
We always say Fidalgo.
Fidalgo.
I don't think he cares.
Fidalgo.
Fidalgo.
it should be realistically it should be Vernon Vapes now because he doesn't live in Fidalgo Island anymore.
Oh, my chair's too far up. What the heck? There we go.
Well,
Oh, cool! I just got the notification that we're live, Frank.
Oh, nice.
Well, it did have to go
Now,
overseas.
though.
It had to go overseas, so yeah.
Yeah, it took a couple
You
hours.
have to admit, Fidalgo, they're different.
Yeah, I would
They're
assume.
both good, but they're different.
I like
Oh.
using the VSO with Flavor West Blueberry just to get
Yeah.
ones, the authentic with the candy and put them together and maybe throw a little jammy wizard at it or a little jammy berry and now you got a nice
I'm gonna
blueberry
do
jam.
that tonight.
Because
I'm trying that
I
tonight.
had a friend of mine. He had was it Sad Boy's blueberry jam cookie, and he wanted me to see how close I could get with it. So all I did was knuckle
Yeah, it's
test it.
very
I knuckle tested it, and then I'm like, all right, well, let's see what we can do here. And I threw in the VSO with the. Actually, no, I didn't use the VSO on that because I'm like, I know there's no way they're using VSO, so I used Flavor West Blueberry with Blueberry Wild.
No, yeah.
I like the blueberry pomegranate by Capella.
I just want to address something Goose Girl said in relation to MF. Yes, the buy-in for MF is quite high. You're looking at, I think it's about $21 for 15 mil, but your usage on them is quite low. So realistically, you get a great flavour. It doesn't work out heaps more expensive in the long run, but the flavour is better. So, and I'm not comparing that to VSO, but when you there you go. Look, Fidalgo's put it up 0.4%. So realistically, if you did a 10% dilution, you'd have 150 mil for that $21.
Yeah,
and you'd use it at 4%. So, it's horses for courses, and the buy-in is a bit steep, but they do go quite a long way. So, and that is not all of them though. There are some which are around the 1% mark. So, just if you're going to go into MF world, then do a lot of research so that you don't. I wouldn't say any of them are real duds. There are some that are weaker than others though. So just be aware that which ones you're looking at.
Good call, Mark Senior.
Yeah.
I know I smelled them all when Frank sent these to me, but
That
mulberry
mulberry one is nice.
It's a candy. It's candy, but it's good
for
candy.
sure. But it's really nice.
Yeah.
But that one could be mixed with like a blueberry jam from your jam and toast from Real Flavors or the one from Wonder Flavors.
You can just get blueberry jam.
Or you can use it with blueberry muffin from Flavora.
Oh, I love that flavor. Blueberry muffin.
Oh yeah, blueberry muffin from Flavora. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna mix those.
Are you going to shoot for the muffin, or are you going to shoot for the blueberry from the muffin?
I would have blueberry with muffin aftertaste.
Yeah,
that's about all you can get, really, though.
I haven't gotten a good muffin yet, at least from my exploration.
Use the Give me a second.
How come no flavoring company? Me and Lumi were just talking about this a couple nights ago. Muffin base. Why doesn't anybody make that? Just the one flavor that's a muffin, and then you add your apple, you add your peach, you add your whatever you want to it.
I would use the blueberry muffin with oatmeal raisin from Flavora as well.
Well, son of a bitch, I don't have that flavor.
and yes, Fidalgo, I think you'd be on the money with that 0.4 MF blueberry with 4% VSO for a natural blueberry.
I may try that, Fidalgo. That sounds good.
that is a good place to be. I'd probably I might just drop the VSO down to about 0.3. Sorry, not 0.3. Sorry, 3%. But that combo for authentic blueberry, I don't think you'd be able to beat it.
Yeah.
And
Do you want to know what I use to enhance my blueberries? Is I use Queen Grape from Mullenberry.
Do you want to hear something really bizarre and weird? Because you do grape. I actually use banana to enhance blueberries.
Really?
Which is banana down low. I know it sounds friggin' ridiculous, but it works. It works for me.
I use kiwi to enhance grapes sometimes,
And then another one.
Little bit, just real low.
When I say
You could also
banana,
use-
that means pretty much any of Vape Train's flavors. No, I'm only kidding.
Big train banana, big train banana.
You could also use a little bit of dragon fruit with either blueberries too.
Yeah, the blueberries or strawberries, really.
My peeps, it depends what you want. If you're going for a candy, you can use your LA banana cream. I have been using Flavor Revolution banana, which I really, really like.
Wave as you go by.
Or banana, hello, banana puree. It depends where you're shooting for in your final mix, but whenever you're using a banana with a blueberry, stay really low. It tends to, with blueberries, you can go floral on blueberries if you go a little bit high. What the banana will do is to a degree remove that floralness that is in a blueberry mix.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it works quite well. It means you can maybe push your blueberry a little bit higher than you normally would. Not heaps high, but just that banana note. And yeah, Mark, perfect. Soft banana puree.
They're both meaty. They're both meaty bananas, so you can use them really low.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought banana was a fruit.
Banana is not a fruit. Isn't banana a berry?
I'm
think
being
so.
funny. He said it was a meat.
Said it was a meat.
But banana is actually, I think it's a berry. I think it's classed as a berry.
Because
Yeah, because
And
there's seeds on the
strawberry-
inside.
And strawberry is not a berry. I think for some reason I think I've got that in my head that strawberries are actually not a berry.
Science time.
Well, I know tomatoes is a fruit.
Yes.
I think the definition of a fruit is seed on the inside.
yeah, which tomatoes.
A
would be-
strawberry seed is on the
On the
outside.
outside.
On the outside, yeah. And remember when we had that conversation about droops, Tammy, ages ago when we were talking about coconut.
Yeah.
Coconut's a droop.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah, I do.
All right, so here we go. The strawberry is not, from a botanical point of view, a berry. Technically, it is an aggregate accessory fruit, meaning that the fleshy part is derived not from the plant's ovaries, but from the receptacle that holds the ovaries.
Wow. It's an accessory fruit.
Accessory. That is
An
my kind of
aggregate
fruit right
accessory
there. An
fruit.
accessory.
So technically, it could seed itself.
It's not derived from the ovary.
That's
Is
right.
that what you said, right?
Yeah, so
Yes,
I guess it's asexual.
So each
Yeah.
seed, each strawberry seed is actually an ovary of the flower with a seed inside of it.
Okay.
Oh.
Good night,
Learn
Ambar.
something new every day.
Whether we needed to
Adam,
actually
for that
learn that is the other thing.
Hey, when I go
Oh,
on
good.
Jeopardy, that might be useful
So
someday.
is that why they use chocolate-covered strawberries as a sexual thing?
Possibly.
Oh, that must be it.
Yeah. Yeah, Toonie, wait, strawberries are girls? Apparently, yeah, they have ovaries.
Now,
And
from
accessory.
from our idea of talking about custards and creams,
We're talking about the
Give up.
genders or affiliations of fruits now,
Yeah,
or lack of fruit.
Yeah, assigning gender to fruit.
You know?
Oh, everybody's like night all, going to bed.
Yeah, it's
See
11,
ya,
yeah.
then we're done with the
we're boring the shit out of them. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
This is the most interesting conversation I've had in a couple days. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, I know.
Welcome to the
Yeah,
welcome to the Saturday night sex show.
Night Sin, Night Fee. Good to see you guys.
Yeah. Well, it is
Oh, yeah,
11:36
they're, like,
here on
in
the East
another-
Coast. So yeah, and I've been up since 6 this morning. So yeah, I'm about wiped myself.
Yeah, I woke up early and then
We might do the flow over of creams into next week. What do you reckon, Frank?
Yeah,
Because we didn't really even touch on creams.
Yeah, and put that into cheesecakes and
We'll just ramble on again at people, and talk about the sex of cheesecakes.
there we go.
The fight is on. What fight?
I think there's some MMA tonight.
Well, we're more exciting than the fight.
The Legion will be coming up soon, I think. So
They're on right now.
Yeah, they're probably
Are they?
almost done.
Okay.
Yeah, because they only run for
Yeah.
about an hour.
well, I didn't get my notification for that.
I
either,
got my
so-
notification
Yeah, I
for
got
that. So
I never got it either.
I got my notification. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. I got mine.
Oh, I got mine. Spence
we
first
just-
quarter in boxing.
Well, it's got to
Now,
come
see, I still
across
like
border. For here, it might have probably got stopped at the border.
Oh.
Yeah, yours
Everything
probably.
else gets
Yeah.
stopped at the border.
Yeah, Mark,
Probably
yours,
have to pay
yours
customs
probably.
for it
Yeah,
to see it.
yours probably got stopped at Alexandria Bay.
Yeah.
It takes a
Well, I'll see
month
mine
of
next
Sundays to
week
get
when
through that
customs clear it. Customs will clear it next week, and then I'll see it in another 5 days after that.
one. Yeah, right.
And then I'll get an email that it's been released.
No, God bless our little customs people. They're doing a fantastic job.
Well, gang,
But yes,
just remember, make your phone calls. Your local representatives, the White House switchboard, still, let them know you're still alive. I'm sure that's probably dropped way off.
That 1414 line, I believe, has been dropped. That's what it was put on. I saw that on the news.
Yeah,
They
we
got
broke it.
overwhelmed.
Yeah, we
and they
broke it.
shut
Broke
it
it.
off. They shut it off.
Yeah.
join Kazaa, guys. Join Kazaa. It's free.
Yeah,
And,
and they have their own
uh,
Facebook groups where
Yep.
they have one for each individual state. And
I believe you're a moderator on one, Frank.
yeah, in North Carolina, it was
Right,
nice. I actually
right.
got their weekly email in that. It had
Yeah,
special
I saw
thank yous,
Frank's
and I
name.
was
I went, whoa,
Ooh.
famous,
Boy.
famous. So,
Yeah,
but,
and that's been busy letting people in, making sure that they're not, they're not anti-vapors trying to spy in on us and all that. And
Yeah.
I mean, I keep it's like 3 simple questions, and a lot of people won't even answer them. And if I don't see any like groups in common, like any kind of advocacy or even any kind of vaping groups, and you haven't answered any questions, guess what? Decline. Sorry. Go back and try again. And I understand what a lot of it is you'll have certain people that really just want to, bring people in. So they'll just like spam it to all their friends and invite them all in. And most of them, you just look and it's like, yeah, there's nothing on their profile about vaping whatsoever. So
Almost done.
I just, God, don't let them in. Just don't know.
Well, I sent you a message. You haven't-
and fair and reasonable too, Frank. You've got to look. I mean, it's not that it's secretive or anything like that.
No, just
but
got to
you
protect it.
don't need the friggin' dramas,
No.
And hard enough job as it is. But well done on being famous, mate. Because I saw that email and I thought, wow, that's awesome.
You know what sucks? I can't join Kazaa.
I joined Kazaa. I had to give them my address of my freight shipper in Florida, but I put in the notes my actual address. So because it is only actually open to the
Americans,
USA,
yeah.
but because of me posting up and annoying the shit out of everyone with links all over the place, I actually want to get the emails as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah, I like what Addie says there. Ask your governor how much your state puts back into cessation and education, because they're
I
supposed.
saw a chart.
Yeah, I think New York at
Point-
2.5. New York at
2.5%.
They're one of the higher
Yeah.
ones.
Yep. There was actually one state that had 0.
Yeah,
Yeah, 0. And you sort of go,
Wow.
yeah, good on you. Good on
yeah.
ya.
They used it for for the governor's yacht and
Oh yeah.
All the important
Of course.
stuff,
yeah.
you know.
golf club memberships and.
Well, you've got to remember that we put well, I didn't, but you guys put them in power so that you can give them a lifestyle that they want to become accustomed to.
This is true.
Yeah, but anyhow, I'm guessing we're probably at the end.
Oh yeah. Well,
I just want to say,
yes,
do epic shit. Unless you're too tired or it costs too much money, in which case do affordable shit and take time for naps. That's my new favourite saying. I've been using it all the time, which is awesome. But yeah, guys, look, don't. I just want to say one thing more on advocacy. The efforts that you guys are making in the States is great, and please don't stop, because what's happening in the States is not just affecting you in the States. It's flowing around the world. And, for Australia, we may as well be annexed at the moment. So if things are looking pear-shaped in the States, things are looking pear-shaped here. But don't stop fighting. Even if you think to yourself one day that the job it's done, don't stop fighting, because eventually, and hopefully it's soon, the truth will prevail. And it's tough to keep pushing shit uphill with a fork.
Yeah.
But keep going and take time off. Don't post for a day and then come back hard.
Yeah,
you
just
really have to
ignore Twitter for a day, or ignore Facebook if you have to, and just it'll still be there when you get back. Just take a day for yourself,
Yeah.
Do positive shit.
Yeah. Tam, what are the Omets or the Omies doing tomorrow? You have a show tomorrow?
Right now, no Omies tomorrow, but we will be back the next week for sure. But Monday we will have Omets and friends.
Cool.
Oh yeah, I did. Well, okay, and we have a cool new thing coming up, but I need to talk to Simon and everybody. But anyway, I'll talk about that later. So yeah, I just put a link to our Facebook group in the chat, and so yeah, watch. So, but you can find me Instagram, Twitter. I tweet on Twitter, and Instagram, Twitter, all the flavors in ELR, Tam Vape.
Yep.
You can find me.
Waftam on vapingcommunity.co.uk, Waftam pretty much everywhere on ELR. You find me in the Discord groups. Please, if any new people have any questions, even any old people who have been mixing for a while have any questions and you think that I might be able to help you, I probably can't. No, I'm only kidding. I'll give it a red hot dip. Generally, if I don't have the information at my fingertips, I can find it. So hit me up if you feel the need. Ask away, and I'll do my best to answer.
Cool. Simon, thank you, brother. Wealth of knowledge this evening. Big time.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Talking about random shit like fruit sex.
Hey, at least it wasn't sex with fruit, so.
Yeah.
Speaking of fruity things, Mark, what do you got going on?
I'm just mixing. I'm answering questions all over Facebook groups. I belong to pretty much every DIY group. Just look for Mark Senior Sabados. I am in all the groups. I am Mark Senior on ELR and ATF, and Mark Senior DIY on pretty much all the. No, I am Mark Senior on all of the Discord.
Cool. Adam, what are you and the Arsons got going on?
Actually, we're off next week, so if you're having a show next week, I'll probably be here again.
Sweet.
Which is kind of cool. Yeah, we're actually just still chilling out a little. Well, we played a slew of shows in a row, but we're chilling again so we can finish our recording. So that's pretty much it. Besides my design work shit, keeping me busy. But yeah, I dropped my links out there to my band's page, my ELR, and my Instagram, and you can find me doing artistic things and other such nonsense over there. And join us 9:30 Central on Golfy Vapes' channel for the Vape Blog, where we talk advocacy, shenanigans, and other such.
You have a new song coming out this Wednesday?
Yes, actually, yeah. New
Awesome.
song on the show. Yeah, we have a group where you can join the group and pick up to 2 top 100 Billboard songs, and I put them all in a randomizer, and whichever one wins, I have to do a cover of that song. I record all the vocals, drums, guitars, everything myself, and it's fun. So
Yeah.
join us.
I don't know how you're going to top.
Damn.
I don't know how you're going to top a day in the life, though. I
I'm
really
not ever.
don't. There's no
I
way.
wish like the Sesame Street theme was in the top 100.
That's it.
Yeah, that'd be child appealing, though. We'd get in trouble for that one.
Nice,
All right,
nice.
gang. Thanks for coming out, everybody. He said we'll be back
Cheers,
next
everyone.
week, hopefully at 9 p.m. Eastern next week instead of 9:30. But we'll see. You know, life gets in the way sometimes. Other shows get in the way. All kinds of things get in the way. But hell,
I got to work out my times because we start daylight saving time sometime soon, probably tonight even, or maybe we even started it last night. I got no idea. It just confuses the shit out of me.
Yeah,
I don't know what time it is for about 6 months.
Yeah, we have another month here, I think, before we go. It's usually right around Halloween.
Oh, good. Cheers, everyone.
Yes. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
You like Rye.
Take care. everyone.
Yes. Right.
Fight.
Love you, brother.
Yeah.
Positive
What is
thoughts,
this
everybody.
now?
See ya.